Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us on KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Tom Sherry.
It's good to have you here. I'm Whitney Ward. Well, we begin tonight as Spokane is seeing some of the highest rent increases in the entire nation. That is according to apartmentlist.com, where rent rates increased more than 8% back in June alone. And since the pandemic began, Spokane rates have increased more than 30%.
Wow. Well, tonight in our ongoing Boomtown series, we examine how the rapid growth in our area is impacting all of us who live here. Our own Ian Smay spoke with a renter feeling the growing pains. He joins us now live here in the studio. Ian.
Yeah, good afternoon, Tom and Whitney. Many people have reached out to me with stories of their rents going up hundreds of dollars as we near the end of the tenant protections put in place by Governor Jay Inslee due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, this comes as landlords were unable to raise rent prices for more than a year due to that proclamation. This has led to some renters saying they are unable to afford to live in their current complexes, while others are moving as they feel their rental units aren't worth the cost. One of those people in Spokane is Jillian Gamache. She lives in an apartment complex on the South Hill and says she and her boyfriend are moving into a house after their landlords told them their rent would be going up by about 66%.
We found actually a house that dollar for dollar, square footage wise, costs less, and so we were really lucky to jump on that. But if we were like 5 minutes later to getting the application in, we wouldn't have gotten it because everybody's trying to move. So we have a place to go, but yeah, there's no way we'd want to stay there since it's going up so much so fast.
Now, this all comes after local real estate agency Kimley Haygood released a report saying that vacancies dropped in 2020 as rents went up. They also say in that report that 59% of new renters from outside of Spokane were coming from the Seattle area in 2020. Apartmentlist.com also says that Spokane saw the highest rent increase in the country in June at more than 8%. Now, coming up at 5 tonight, I'll have more from Gamache on what it's like to deal with these increases, along with some more of the possible factors driving up rent in Spokane. For now, back to you guys.
All right, Ian, thank you very much. Well, this year, Spokane County, as well as its cities, received tens of millions of dollars in federal stimulus money. So the question is now how to spend it. Today, local leaders announced their plans to work that out. Joining us live here to explain all of that is our political reporter, Casey Decker. Casey, first of all, how much money are we talking about here?
Yeah, well, Whitney, a lot. This money comes from the American Rescue Plan Act. That's the most recent stimulus passed under President Biden. So separate from last year's CARES Act money, and the amount going to different municipalities differs. The city of Spokane will wind up with about $80 million, the county with about $100 million, and the valley $16 million.
Okay, Casey, so obviously that's a lot of money that will suddenly be kind of flowing into the city and the county. What are they going to use it for?
Well, it can be used for a lot of things. It seems like the local governments have pretty free reign in terms of where this money can go. It can go to continued public health efforts to keep COVID under control. It can go to restoring government services that were reduced during the pandemic. It can also go straight to businesses to help them rehire staff. So there is a lot of money and a lot of leeway here. Local leaders seem really pretty excited about this opportunity. Several times today, I heard the phrase once in a lifetime chance.
Certainly that. It brings us kind of to our last question. How are they going to decide exactly where this money is going to go?
Yeah, and that's what the press conference today was about. They were announcing that they want to get a lot of public input here. There will be work groups, public meetings, avenues providing feedback online. Local leaders say they just want to get a good sense of what everyone's priorities are to make sure that this money is used wisely and that this unique opportunity is not blown. That also means it may be a little while before the funds actually get distributed. At the city level, at least, the earliest distribution seems most likely to happen in September. Whitney?
All right, good update, Casey. Thank you very much. And looking ahead, on Wednesday, the Tenants Union of Washington, Spokane, is hosting a tenant meeting. It's a public event, free for anyone to go. It's happening on Zoom at 5:30. The event is to help provide information as skyrocketing rent increases continue to happen here across the region. So topics planned to be covered include newly created tenant protections to avoid eviction, how to comment on the City of Spokane's Housing Action Plan, and to talk about what to do when you are faced with a rent increase. Again, it's open to anyone. All you have to do is register on the Tenants Union of Washington Spokane Facebook page. All right, let's turn our attention here to outside, where we noticed it was much more smoky than we saw even yesterday. It was interesting last night. I saw the moon rising.
Yes.
It was orange, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah,
that's a bad sign.
That is a bad sign. So we've got haze in the area right now, some smoke, some cloud cover, some high clouds are rolling in, and we're actually tracking potentially dangerous conditions. We're expecting isolated thunderstorms to develop late tonight, overnight, and again on Tuesday and into Tuesday evening. You can see that red flag warning or fire weather warning is in effect until noontime on Wednesday. All those areas shaded in red. Of course, that includes the Spokane area, and every place you're seeing right there, that is tinder dry. We get any cloud to ground lightning strikes, we're in big trouble. At least we're not in the 90s. We're at 88 degrees, as you can see. And quite frankly, the relative humidity has actually come up just a bit because we're getting a little bit more kind of muggy conditions as we get some of that monsoonal moisture from the deserts of the southwest now beginning to push up into the inland northwest. So chance of thunderstorms, an overnight low of 66. It could be muggy again tomorrow. Again, dry lightning if possible. We might get a little bit of sprinkle activity. Wouldn't it be great to get a downpour of rain? But that doesn't seem likely. We'll see a daytime high of 92 degrees. Always looking ahead to the weekend. Again, temperatures well above average. 93 expected on Saturday, 94 degrees on Sunday. I'll check the rest of your 7-day outlook, all coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Tom, thank you very much. And when it comes to air quality, let's take a look. It does seem still smoky out there, but we have seen quite an improvement actually since this morning. Right now, according to Spokane Clear Air, it's right now sitting in the moderate category. Now, earlier today, we were in the red category of just straight up unhealthy. According to this air quality forecast, we're also expected to be in the orange, which means unhealthy for sensitive groups. As you know, the air quality can constantly change, honestly, hour by hour. So make sure to check the KREM 2 app and KREM.com for the latest updates.
Well, there are still multiple wildfires burning across the Pacific Northwest right now, so here's what you need to know. Level 3 evacuations are still in place in Okanagan County, including areas of Cub Creek, West Chewuk, and Winthrop. Level 3 means get out now. Also, new at 4 o'clock, there are Level 3 evacuations for the State Route 20 side of the Methow River and west of the Mazama entrance. That fire is now burning over 8,000 acres, and there are additional level 2 evacuations for the area, which means be ready to leave at a moment's notice. We have no word yet on the fire's containment. A Red Cross shelter, though, has been set up at Liberty Bell Elementary School, located in the Eagle Gym.
And the Goddard fire, which is burning in Stevens County, has now grown to about 600 acres. Crews say they've got it about 25% contained at this hour. All the level 3 evacuations have now been downgraded to level 2. There was one structure lost, we're told. Today, crews are working to finalize a line around the entire perimeter of that fire. And
the Red Apple fire burning near Wenatchee has now grown to more than 12,000 acres. Good news, though. Crews there say they've got it 83% contained. All evacuations have been lowered to level 2 or 1. Friday, investigators did determine that the fire was human-caused, but still unknown just how it started. Happening tomorrow, Commissioner Hillary Franz will be visiting that Red Apple fire area. She's expected to announce the closure of Eastern Washington DNR lands. The Red Apple fire is just one of 9 major wildfires burning now across the state as fire danger rises amid this historic drought.
And actually, one of the biggest fires burning in the inland northwest right now is in west central Idaho. The Snake River complex has now ballooned to over 107,000 acres. Crews say they have been able to get a better handle on containment, so it's now considered 44% contained. Evacuations, though, still in place for nearby communities. For those who are displaced by this fire, the Red Cross does have a shelter set up at the Echo Hills Church that's in Lewiston. Right now, we're told there are no injuries and so far no structures lost. But we know that it's a lot of information, so our team is committed to keeping you informed about everything you need to know for wildfire season. It changes frequently, so we're making it really easy for you to find. All you have to do is text the word FIRE to 509-448-2000. We'll send that link right to your phone.
Well, the Olympic torch is 4 days away from reaching Tokyo and lighting the Olympic flame. When we come back, we'll have the latest Olympic news to prepare you for the opening ceremonies. That happens on Friday.